Again, our title is Break Apart Makes the Equation Easier to Solve. That's what we've been doing the last couple of weeks in our number talks. That's what that's called. We talked about how we're just rearranging the numbers. The numbers aren't getting bigger or smaller, but we're putting them in a different order to make it easier. That's what our number talks are all about. So if I did just an example, 99 plus 7, that's not an easy problem that I can look at and just know the answer. Most of you can say, oh, well, I can count on, which is a fine strategy. But if I wanted to make this problem really easy, I'm going to break apart and rearrange that equation. Which number would I break apart? We've been doing this for weeks now. Dominic? 7. I would break apart the 7 because I want to get that 99 to a friendly number. Azalea, what is a friendly number that I'm trying to get that 99 to? I don't know. Oh, can we figure it out? No. Go with it. Friendly? 100. 100. 100 is real easy for me to add. How far away is 99 from 100, Miranda? 1. So I know when I rearrange the 7, I'm going to pull out a 1. But the 7 doesn't go away. That 7 did not disappear. We're just making it look a little different. What does it look like now? It's 1 and something. Brayden, what's the something? 6. That is still 7. I just smushed it apart. Emily? Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Sorry. So from here, we know we can smush together a 1 and 99 to give us that easy 100. We'll add the 6 that's left over. These equations give us the same answer. Which one can you look at and solve in about 2 seconds? I know which one I can look at and solve in 2 seconds. Autumn? Yeah, I can look at 100 plus 6 and know that answer so fast. What is it? It's 106. So we know that I can rearrange numbers to make the problem easier. I know that. That's what we've been doing. Turn around. You, turn around. So now we're going to look at subtraction. Can I do that same shortcut with subtraction? We're going to look at that. So we know that subtraction is measuring the space in between. We've been doing number lines and counting the spaces in between. Can we move that space to make it easier for us to solve? I want you to write this 2 sentences down in your notebook. It says, we know that subtraction just measures the distance between 2 numbers. You're writing, Miranda. Can we adjust, aka move, this equation to make it easier for us to solve? So if I write the equation, and go ahead and do this equation in your notebook. Go ahead and write it down. It's okay. It's okay. Just leave some space. 500 minus 32 equals question mark. We're going to look at that equation. We've been practicing using adding to subtract because we're so much better at adding. What would be the addition equation for this problem? What would be my addition equation? Bryce, you know it? No. Label what is your whole. Label what are your parts. Label what is your whole, and label what is your parts. Arwen, which one of these numbers or spaces is my whole? 500 is my whole. I know because when I'm subtracting, I'm always starting with all the things. Right, and what are my parts? Box and 32 are my parts. How do I make an addition problem? Now that we've got some whole parts, make an addition equation. Scarlett, you want to give it a try? $32 plus box equals 500. From here, we know we could set up a number line and do our jumps till we get to 500. Yes? Yes? No? Emma?
Or you also could do plus 30.
Sure. There you go. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to make a number line. I'm going to show you a shortcut. So usually when we see equations, we don't see them written horizontally. Normally, we see them written like this.
Yeah.
500 minus 32. Right? We've seen them like this. Now, when I look at that, I immediately know I'm going to have to do some regrouping. Because I have 0 ones and I need to take away 2 ones. I don't have enough ones. I don't like regrouping. It's kind of awful. It's a lot of work. It gets confusing. So I have Dominic, who's going to be my 32. Ta-da! Hello, 32. You look so good for your age. And I have Arwen, who's going to be my 500. You really look good for your age. Woo. Hello, 500. I'm measuring the distance between them, right? Yep. Take one step to your right. Is this, no, you're good. No. Is this the same distance?
No, it's not.
Are you sure? Look at my arms, are the same?
Yeah.
Let's go back, take one step back to the left. Same distance?
Yeah.
Go right. Same distance?
Yeah.
Yes. My distance, my arms in between, is still the same number, even if I just move it over a little bit. So, thank you, put it down. I'm going to move that equation over a little bit. I'm going to back it up 1. So now, I'm going to look at 500. What is the number before 500? I'm scooching it back 1. Eliana?
499.
499. But 32, remember Dominic also moved Bryce. He's going to scoot back 1. Ethan, what does that become then? What's the number before 32?
Then before 32 is 41.
Hey, is that way easier to solve?
Yes.
I could use addition. Sure. 9 ones, subtract 1 1, leaves me with how many ones? 8. 9 tens, subtract 3 tens, leaves me with how many tens? 6. 4 hundreds minus 0 hundreds leaves me with how many hundreds? 4. It is not about. It is 468, I promise.
That's how much.
I'll prove it to you. Let's do the number line because I know you guys know how. 32 to 500. What's the next friendly number that I'm going to jump to on my number line? I started at 32, but I'm going to jump. Azalea, what am I going to jump to?
Ms. Miller,
Yes?
can I have Adrian Stanley to the counselor's office?
Yep. How far was that? Azalea, how far of a jump was that?
6,
Nope. 8. Cool. So far, so good. Now where am I going to go? I could do another 10. That would be fine. But I got to get all the way to 500. So I know I need to get to that 100 real quick. What you thinking, Dominic?
450. Or just 400.
I'm not going to jump 400 yet. I need to get to an easier number to count by 100. Grace, what do you think? What is it? 50? I could get to 50, but I got to go a long way. 50 seems like a small jump. Brandon, what do you think? Where am I going to jump to? I'm at 40 and I want to get to 500. So what's my next jump? Where is that going to lead me? I'm not going to get to 110. Alright, what do you think? I'm going to go to 100 though. Because I can really easy peasy get from 100 to 500. So I'm going to start at 40. And I'm going to skip count 5 tens until I get to 100. Ready? 40. 40 is nothing. 40. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. The answer is 6.
No, 60.
It's 60 because I counted 6 tens. So this jump from 40 to 100 is 60. Now I need to get from 100 all the way up to 500. How am I going to get there? Autumn, how am I going to get there? Yeah, I'm going to take one big jump. Phew. How big was that jump? What'd you say? It's not 100. Start at 100. Count on until you get to 500. Ethan, what'd you get to? 400. Add that up. Add up your jumps. We have 8 plus 60 plus 400. What does that become? Friendly? Told you. The same answer. If you know how to subtract, all you have to do is scooch your numbers over, and it'll give you the same answer. I promise. All you're doing is taking your distance, scooching it over, but the distance is still the same. I know, that's crazy to think about. Let's do another one together. If you need to turn the page, you can. This one is going to be 1,000. You are ready for that. 1,000 minus 345. 1,000 minus 345. I would even like you to write it stacked so you know what that looks like. Azalea, get with us. So I have 1,000 minus 345. If you could stop calling out, that would be great. So I can tell right there, since it's stacked, I'm going to have to regroup because I have zeros in my hole.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of regrouping. There's a lot of zeros there. I don't like that. I can add. That will totally work. But 345 to 1,000, that's a lot of jumps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 345 to 1,000, and I'm going to scoot it 1.
I think that's it.
What is 1,000 minus 1? Just scooting it over 1. Dominic? 999. Now if I scoot it over 1,000 over 1, I got to keep the same distance, which means my 345's got to go over 1 too.
So,
4. To be 344. Your brain can handle it, it's just a hard thought. All I'm doing is taking my equation and just shifting it down 1. I'm still just measuring the distance in between. Now, I don't have to do any hard regrouping.
yeah, this is really easy now.
It's really easy now. I have 9 ones minus 4 ones. How many ones is that going to be, Bailey? 9 ones minus 4 ones. 5. 9 ones minus 4 tens. Lucy? 5. 5 tens. 9 hundreds minus 3 hundreds. Ethan? Done. Done. It's a shortcut. Takes a lot of thinking, but it is a shortcut. Right?
Would you add the number to subtract it again?
If you wanted to double check, sure. But that is the exact answer. I know, because this is my whole, my part, and my part. 344 plus 655. Oh, let's do this. Let's go with my actual answers. So I have 345 plus 655. 5 plus 5 is going to give me 10. I can't leave 10 squished into the one place. I need to regroup. I have nothing left over. I'm adding my 10, aka my 110, because in the 10th place. 5 plus 4 is 9, plus my 1 extra 10 that I just got gives me 10 tens. I can't leave it in there. I have to regroup. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus my other 100 is 100. Back at my hole. I promise, it works. It's a really neat shortcut, but it is kind of tricky to think about. Alright, so what we're going to do for the next little bit is I want you to turn to the next blank page. We did this last time when we were doing add-on to subtract. I'm going to give you 4 equations. You're going to try these problems. So go ahead and write them down. If you would like to try the subtraction trick, is what I call it, shortcut, go for it. You don't have to. You can definitely use add-on to subtract which is where we make our number line and we count our jumps. Emma?
If you just turn to the next blank page for the other equation that we just did, you only just do 2 on that page.
Sure.
It's really easy.
Sure. Now remember we set up our word problems the same way. One equation at the top, the next equation in the middle. One equation at the top, the next equation in the middle. So go ahead and get your notebook set up, and I'm going to have you do this again with partners because I know the subtraction trick is really tricky. If you want to try it, I want you to explore number 4 because we see that 400 is going to be tricky. You don't have to. You can continue to use your add-on to subtract number line, but if you want to try it, I would try it on number 4. Yes, ma'am.